Hi, good day. I'm hoping everybody is blessed right now, and I just wanted to take a moment to share what our program is about and what resources that we can help you with. So I'm with the Veterans One Stop Center and Military Veteran Peer Network. And this is an outline of what I'm going to cover briefly, real quick for you. The services that we provide at the Veterans One Stop Center, what eligibility requirements you need in order to get counseling services here, the expected flow of services, from point A to point B, how is it going to go for you? The resources that we have available at the center, purpose as far as Military Veteran Peer Network, talk about how the peer service coordinators are across the state of Texas, what services that we provide locally here in El Paso, and then I'm going to give you some contact info. So as you can see on this slide, we do both telehealth and in-person. So, whatever your preference is, whatever you're comfortable with, we're going to get you squared away. So we do individual counseling, we do marriage counseling, and we do family counseling. And they also provide case management. As you can see, they provide services for children's ages 5 to 17, and then adults 18 and up. As far as the caseworker, he's going to help you reach the goals that you come up with your therapist. And then if you have if you're trying to get employment or something like that, he'll help you with such things such as resume building. So these are some of the documentation you'll need to provide in order to get services at the Veterans One Stop Center as far as the counseling services. Any kind of proof of military service. So whether that's your DD-214, ERB, if you have your ID card, whether it's, your retirement card or your VIC card, you're going to be good to go. Even your VA award letter. They're so lenient where if you have a picture of you in uniform, they can get you squared away with counseling. And then, of course, proof of residency. Right now, we're currently limited to taking care of the El Paso community. We're working on trying to branch out to Las Cruces since we're closer than most places. But there's more to follow on that. Also, as far as getting counseling services here, it doesn't matter your discharge status. So if you have a dishonorable discharge status and you need counseling services, we're going to get you squared away. And you can also be pre 9/11, post 9/11. It doesn't matter to us. We're going to take care of you, your family, and veterans, service members. So this is the expected flow of services. So you provide your documentation showing that you're eligible. You're going to sign, the documents as far as consenting, your demographic information. Then you'll have an assessment, clinical assessment, and then you'll start your therapy services. So with the clinical assessment and the therapy, you might end up seeing two different people before you get linked up with your number one therapist. You might see the same person. It just depends on availability as far as appointments and what your schedule and the therapist schedule allows. But either way, we're going to get you squared away. Typically, we get people in within a week. So these are the other resources that are available here at the Veterans One Stop Center. So we have disability claims. Texas Veterans Commission helps us with that. Education assistance, we have Grand Canyon University, Western Governors University. And the good thing about them is they don't just focus on their particular university. They want to help you meet your educational goals. So if you have if you have questions about post 9/11 or anything like that, they can get you squared away. If you want to go to EPCC, UTEP, something like that, they'll help you get started on the right path. I'm gonna go back to the claims portion. If you're trying to start a claim, if you have questions about raising a claim, increasing a claim, or anything like that, they can get you squared away with that as well. If you want to start a business or you have a business, we have Veterans Business Association housed here. When it comes to employment assistance, again, like I mentioned before, the caseworker can help you as far as resume writing and then keeping you posted on job listings that are available. When we have the funds, we do assist with rental and utility. If we can't, then we're going to refer you to one of our community partners. And then as far as Military Veteran Peer Network, we offer peer services and community resources. So the purpose of MVPN is to provide, like it states, provide understanding of Military Veteran Peer Network, serve service members, veterans, and their families, and share volunteer opportunities. So the way we work is we fall under HHSC, which is Health and Human Services, and Texas Veterans Commission. And then we are contracted with the local mental health authority. So here in El Paso, it happens to be Emergence Health Network. So that's why we are contracted with EHN. And because Veterans One Stop Center is their veterans department, we work with the Veterans One Stop Center. So currently, MVPN is only in Texas. We have about 51, maybe more, peer service coordinators. And you can go to the website milvetpeer.net. And if you hover over the area that you're inquiring about, it'll tell you the point of contact for that area. You can, for example, myself and my coworker, Natalie, we're in El Paso. So we're over here to the west on the map. Click on it, it'll give you our information. And the good thing about the MVPN program is if you're located in El Paso and you call us and say, hey, I'm moving to Austin, can I get some information on counseling or housing or anything like that? I'll reach out. We'll reach out to the peer service coordinator in that area and do a warm handoff. So when you get to that area, you're going to be squared away. So the services we provide are peer support, whether it's groups or one-on-one peer support. We provide services for justice-involved veterans, those that are incarcerated, re-entry or going through the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court. We do suicide prevention and awareness trainings. We do parent cafes. We do resource referrals with warm handoff, and then of course volunteer opportunities. So to touch base a little bit more on peer support groups. So right now we have Haven, which is harassment, assault, violence ends now. It's our peer support group for those that are survivors of sexual assault, sexual harassment, any kind of sexual trauma. So we do that currently. We're doing it virtually. We were doing it in person prior to COVID, and we just never kind of went back. We hope to gradually, but right now we're just doing that in the virtual format. To become a part of that group, they have to reach out to me, and just mainly so I can make sure it's a good fit. We try to keep it kind of private and confidential so that link is not readily available to everybody. We also have Yarnaholics. That one's open to the public. We don't care if you're in the SMVF community or you're civilian. You learn crochet. And what we find is when you're working with your hands, your mind kind of gets put at ease, and you're more open with what you're going through. So you're able to alleviate that depression, anxiety, stress, or whatever else you might have going on. Open Doors is our newer group. Well, I don't want to say newer. We tried it before. We didn't really have a lot of attendance. Then we started getting requests for it, that there was a need for it in the LGBTQ plus community. So we started it up again. So anyway, Open Doors is our LGBTQ plus support group. It's for service members, veterans, and family that are in that demographic. Mainly, it's just the same thing, to talk about, the struggles they go through, the good, the bad, anything, it make them realize that they're not alone. Pathfinders is our general peer support group. That's just for service members and veterans. And then the other side takes place at the same time, is for dependents and spouses of veterans and service members. Because what we were finding was, soldiers or veterans were bringing their spouses to group, but then they wouldn't talk about anything. So we separate them. And now you're able to get, whatever's on your chest out, with people that can relate to you. So those take place at the same time. All the groups take place on Thursday, except for Haven. So as far as justice-involved veterans, like I stated, we provide services to the El Paso Veterans Treatment Court, whether it's us being mentors for the mentees that are enrolled in that program, or providing, just peer support in general. We also provide peer support groups at La Tuna Federal Correction Institute. We are about to start doing peer support at the El Paso County Jail Annex. And then we're involved with the Texas Veterans Justice-Involved Veterans Program. So what happens with that is they'll send us what we call jail cards. And it is pretty much an inmate that might be requesting information for when they re-enter into the civilian, civilian population. So what we'll do is we'll provide them the information that they request, whether it's them needing housing, assistance with, education, disability, whatever it is, we're going to get them the information that they need to help them get squared away. So once they are released, hopefully they won't fall back into that same pattern and get, incarcerated again. So as far as trainings, we do suicide prevention awareness trainings. We have CALM, counseling on access to lethal means. That's putting time and distance between the method of suicide and the person that's having suicidal ideations. Ask about suicide to save a life. Again, is removing that stigma of someone having suicide ideations and getting you comfortable asking those questions. Are you thinking about killing yourself? SAVE, we do that in collaboration with the VA. That training focuses on veterans and suicide prevention awareness. And then we do mental health first aid. Myself and Natalie are both qualified to teach adult mental health first aid, youth mental health first aid, and I'm qualified to teach veteran mental health first aid. With those trainings, again, is removing the stigma associated with mental illness that someone might have. It's doing that early intervention, so we can try to get them on the right track. So with the youth mental health first aid, it's teaching adults how to recognize those signs in youth. So it's not for youth. Soon, hopefully, we'll have the teen mental health first aid, which is for kids. So we collaborate with the Center for Children, and we do what we call parent cafes, and it teaches the 5 protective factors for building strong families. The purpose of that was to try to help alleviate the domestic violence in the homes, and it's very beneficial. It helps with communication, take a step back, listen to listen, not listen to be, not listen to talk. Again, resource referrals. We do anything from, financial assistance, whether it's like rent, utility, legal assistance, mental health services, substance use recovery, employment. If you're about to be homeless, anything you can think of, we can pretty much assist because we collaborate with a lot of different agencies in the area. So we could tell you exactly where to go to instead of you driving everywhere trying to figure out where to go to and increasing that stress that you might be going through. Again, volunteer opportunities. We can always use good volunteers. We do a lot of outreach, and sometimes, it can be a lot on myself and, Natalie. So the more volunteers we have supporting us with that, the more we can be out in the community, letting people know about our programs. Again, the peer court mentor. With the Veterans Treatment Court, you have to be a veteran or a service member because they want you to be able to relate to the service that the person that's going through the program has experienced. Again, veteran peer mentor. With that, I call it the Battle Buddy program because we might get called by someone that just needs to talk to somebody. They don't want counseling, but they just need someone they can depend on. So they'll either talk to myself or my partner, and they'll establish how often they need to talk, whether it's once a week, twice a week, once every other week, whatever. And then group facilitator. Our groups are all facilitated by our volunteers. So if you have an idea for a group that you think might be beneficial to the community, let us know and we'll help you get it started and make sure you have the adequate training to do that. So this is a point of contact. If you want services through MVPN or even the Veterans One Stop as far as counseling and stuff like that, reach out to myself or Natalie, and then we'll make sure you get squared away. All right. Have a great day.